Hey, I got a hilarious story. I don't know why I didn't lead with this story. I guess because I was on here by myself and I was feeling nervous. So my my anxiety went down once you sat in the chair there. But let me tell you, if you want to have some anxiety, you go online. You got somebody. Oh, I got all the wrong lights on, don't I? Okay. Okay. Thank you.
He's trying to get business taken care of in Jamaica.
Obviously, I turned on the wrong lights. That's pretty cool. They actually live in the house with us.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Part of the staff. They're super awesome. Very friendly. Very prompt. They take care of business. But if you want to have some anxiety, plan a trip to Jamaica with your family, with 9 people in tow, yourself and 9 people in tow, and then go to the American Embassy website and look up travel to Jamaica. So, Brady, can you in the background just Google, should I travel to Jamaica?
Sure.
And then when you're ready, let me know. It'll tell you, to give you some guidelines. I think one of the first things it's going to say is reconsider traveling to Jamaica.
That's the first one right there.
Okay.
Put
it up. Put it up there. Okay.
Reconsider travel to Jamaica due to health and safety measures and COVID-related conditions, et cetera, et cetera. So go ahead and give us your take on that, Billy.
Okay. So come back to both of us on the screen, Brady, because I have found out that people like to see us rather than the website. So, Paul, they must like us, man. But anyway, so if you read on there, what it says is high crime rate, armed burglaries. It goes on. It says some nasty things that I'm not even going to say, some risks involved. And then it says, be prepared if you're coming from the United States to quarantine for 14 days. Okay. And then the other thing is, it tells you that in order to even be considered to come in the country, you have to have a negative COVID test within the last 10 days. Okay. So there's 10 of us that we had to get a negative test within 10 days of our departure. So 10 days from the departure date, let's go ahead and get one. Some people in Atlanta, some people in Douglas, some people other places, we go to the closest place to get a test. Everyone does. And 7 of us get our tests back. 3 people don't receive their test. And by the way, right up to the last minute, we're still waiting on like 3 passports that we haven't received yet. So from the people who never traveled before. We finally get the passports. The day before we leave, you're not going to believe this, Paul, but I had not yet went and got tested because I've been tested so many times. We're already around so many people. I'm like, right. I'm not worried about it. I know I'm negative. I'll wait to the last minute. So I waited to the last minute. I went and got a rapid test. Negative. Everyone's negative, by the way. Thank God. I'm very thankful. But all they did was hand me a piece of paper. So we get to the airport in Atlanta, and everybody starts handing them their negative test. And you also have to have a travel authorization form filled out. You can only do that one time. And once you hit submit, you can't make any changes. Well, we put the wrong parish. So number one, our travel authorization is incorrect. This is not the place that our travel said we could come to. Mm-hmm. Number 2, I start handing them my negative COVID test, and the ladies just start shaking her head. No, this isn't going to work. So we had to get on the phone. Luckily, I knew the doctor, and get him to actually email the results from the test, because it didn't say which strand of COVID I was tested for. It just said COVID-19. So we get in. Okay, we're going to make it. We get ready to board the plane, and now they say, Taylor, who's in here, that her COVID test, they let us in, but now the Delta will not let her on the plane. They won't let her on the plane. Our luggage is on the plane. We're like, okay, well, if one person can't go, none of us can go. we finally present something to them. I'm just going to leave this out there for you. We present something to them that worked. Okay. Here's an email that says this, and they let us on the plane. Well, now I'm on the plane and my anxiety's through the roof because now we got to get through customs in Jamaica.
Right.
And I had been watching videos. And if you want some anxiety, go to YouTube and search travel to Jamaica during COVID, and then sort it by the most recent. 2 videos in a row, people being contained, locked in rooms at the airport in Jamaica. Nobody saying that they got through. So I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be a disaster. So we're walking through, and there they are. There's the tables with the people with their coats, their lab coats on, and the mask, hair nets, gloves. And here's what made me think of it. Just as soon as you get off the ground, they spray you down. They spray your hands down with straight alcohol, and that you have to rub your hands together. Then I walk over to the table, and I'm like, so do I need to stop here? I'm trying to be as polite as I can. They said, no, just go on through unless they stop you. So much ado about nothing. As soon as we hit the airport, they just waved us through like just express lane. All 10 of us got through. And that was the moment that I had the most relief you could have, because I could just imagine me being quarantined for 14 days in a Jamaican hostel.
Ooh, what fun.
Ooh, what fun. And I've got my family, and I've got 4 other people's family members. You know what I'm saying? Friends. Yeah. So I'm like, how am I going to explain this? But they let us through, and it's been a breeze. We actually rented a van. So another funny story, we rented a van, and a 10-passenger van, and it didn't have gas in it. And there was a curfew, a 7:00 curfew Saturday night, and we had to, so the stores were closed. So we actually had to siphon gas from another tank that the guy said he owned. I hope he did. We had to siphon the gas, and while he was siphoning the gas went all in his face and eyes, so I had to siphon the gas. There's a picture on Facebook with me holding the gas can above my head so that the gas, it'll go into the van.
I did see that.
That's a real story. I mean, it really happened. And then we get, I didn't know that Jamaica, I had forgotten that Jamaica was once a British colony, and that everybody drives on the left side of the road and you sit on the right side of the van. So that was right. Unique. First time doing that with 10 people and luggage. So
no pressure.
So then we contact the people at the house, the people you've seen earlier there, and said, hey, where can we eat at? They said, you go over to this restaurant. Here's how you get there. So they gave me in their thick Jamaican accent, gave me directions of how to get to this restaurant. So we turned in this resort. They let us through the armed gate, or the gate, the locked gate. They have a security guard out there and everything. And, I asked him for directions. They sound similar to what the lady told me on the phone. Well, about 10 minutes later, I am in the middle of a golf course on the golf cart trail. And I end up at these condos on the beach, or these beach houses. And it's a golf cart roundabout. And I'm in this 10-passenger van. And I'm running over their flowers and their bushes as I turn around the roundabout. A long story. Well, I can't say long story short, because that was a long story. But the long story, the end result was, we got to the restaurant and we got to the house. We're not quarantined, but everywhere you go, the United States needs to pay attention. Let businesses open. When somebody walks in your establishment, make sure they have on a mask, because we wear a mask everywhere we go, and then spray them down with alcohol, make them wash their hands in front of you, and make them keep their mask on, and we can open up for business, and everything can get back to somewhat normal.
Right. So the quick version of that, Brady, in case you fell asleep at the wheel when he was talking about it, when he gives Sarah a hard time. No, I'm just kidding. That was actually a very fun story. But so buy back Billy in Jamaica was don't come back Billy.
Yeah.
People's golf course, at least, like, get off my flowers.
Yeah,
That's great. That's a great story. So how was the food then?
The food was fantastic. The food and the service down here is wonderful. Now, we did go to the supermarket to get food for here at the house, and they have some awesome vitamin C. But man, the hot dogs, the highest quality meat in the supermarket that we went to was the red hot dogs like you get, in America that are 99 cents for a big pack.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it's just because supply chain is so tough to get here.
Right.
If you're not ordering fresh seafood, then you probably better stick to something, in a can or in a plastic bag. That's unique. But now the restaurants that serve the fresh fish and the jerk chicken, oh my God, that stuff's delicious, man.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. You got to do it. You got to do it, Paul.